Hello, we have a BMW G30 2018, and I need to replace the drive shaft center support bearing. I disassembled already the drive shaft. The drive shaft is already on the table. Here is the center support bearing. Inside the bearing, there is a mount/holder. The main reason I decided to film this, I ran into a problem. I couldn't disconnect the drive shaft. The drive shaft is made of two parts. Sometimes there is a locking nut. You loosen it and the shaft comes apart. On F-Series, there is a bolt inside the joint. You loosen it and separate it. But here, there were internal locks. Always remember before separating the drive shaft. Mark tooth-to-tooth alignment. So the balance is not lost because drive shafts are balanced together. This is the balancing weight. Everything is balanced on machines, so don't mess that up. Always mark so it goes back exactly the same. Everything sits like this. The shaft is mounted like this. The center support is pressed in here. I had dealt with something similar before, but not exactly this type of connection. It is basically pressed together. There is also a rubber piece here. I put it on top. There is a metal cover protecting it. I tried everything to knock it off, even the bearing. I managed to move the bearing. I tried using a socket so I wouldn't damage anything. I thought I removed it, but only the bearing moved. It stays on the shaft. We tried hitting it in that spot, but it didn't come off. I got really frustrated and searched for information. Couldn't find much. I found two videos, tried to repeat what one video showed. They knocked the bearing together with the housing using a socket, and it came off easily for them. I tried many times. Nothing worked. I also tried hitting it the same way. Still didn't work. I kept hammering the bearing. First, I loosened the bearing from its seat, thinking it would come off together. But it didn't. Nothing worked. Another video showed a guy on the ground trying to pull the drive shaft apart by hand. Didn't work either. Then suddenly it was already separated in the video, without showing how. Then I noticed there are internal locks/clips. They don't come apart by force. You either break them or release them properly. We managed to release them without breaking anything. I couldn't find this info anywhere, so I'm sharing it now. Hopefully that helps. This applies to G-series models. Older models are simpler. This issue doesn't exist there. Here, this was the problem. It moves slightly but doesn't come out fully. I'll show how we did it. We worked together. One holds, one pulls. That was basically it. At one moment, the bearing suddenly came off. One person lifted and held it, and I hammered it hard until it came off. On the table, it didn't work at all. So this might be the easiest way. Now you know there are clips inside. Plastic clips on the outside, but they lock deeper inside. They compress and allow only limited movement. They stop it from fully coming apart. At the end of the splines, there is a stop. They lock and only allow slight movement. You can't fully pull it out. It just stops. I tried again and again, but it didn't come off. Then suddenly it was already separated. Plastic clips. They compress easily. They go in and lock. When assembling, it goes together easily. When removing, it resists because of the locking ring inside. With force, they release. We align it back using our marks. There's a line, alignment mark. It must match. This boot protects the splines from dirt. So that's the process of replacing the drive shaft center support bearing. At first, we thought it was difficult, but then we figured out a better way. It's actually not that hard once you understand how it works. You just need to pull it straight. Hope this helps you. See you next time.